What total dick move did you experience? I used to work at KFC. On my first day they had me on register and this lady walks up to order. I was moving rather slowly, so I told her it was my first day and apologized for taking so long. She seemed super nice and understanding, so I thought I was in the clear. As I handed her a seat she says, "Where's my free drink? You told me I got a free drink." I definitely never said this and was confused as shit as to what to do because it was obvious she was trying to take advantage of it being my first day. She then waves my manager over, tells her I promised her a free drink and that she expects a free drink now. My manager threw me a dirty ass look as she hands this lady a cup. Luckily a co-worker was standing nearby and confirmed that I never told her anything about a free drink, so my manager let it go. Guaranteed that lady does this everywhere she goes. It was pretty shitty, and it was my first day on my first job. It was a rude awakening to the pettiness of some customers. Years ago working a similar job, the customer's total rang up as something small like $3.55. They reached into their pocket and pulled out a ton of change and started counting it out in nickels and such. Handed me a fistful when they were around $1.50 and continued to count. I was new and dropped the change into the till. As soon as I did, the customer stopped stalling and put the rest of their change back in their pocket and claimed they'd paid in full. The partial payment was now mixed with the rest of the till, so I had no way to dispute, and they got away with like $2 off their meal. Explained to my manager my till would be short that day. Fortunately she was nice, and I learned not to put the money away until the transaction was complete for a relatively low price. My dad had a baby with his then 18-year-old girlfriend when I was 15. He gave me a debit card to his bank account, and she had one too. He was a truck driver at that time, so he instructed me to withdraw $40 from his account every Tuesday when he got paid. My mom was broke. He wasn't paying child support, so this money was my lunch money and money for necessary items like tampons. Dad's girlfriend got the whole rest of his check for her and the baby. For a while, the girlfriend was buying the baby some new swing or bouncer that he didn't need every week. One week, she wanted to buy this huge saucer thing with all of these toys attached to it. It was really expensive, and she fell about $40 short of being able to afford it. So, she got up really early in the morning, like 5 AM, before she knew I'd be awake to go to the ATM, and she withdrew all of the money, so she could buy the baby the swing and I wouldn't get any money to eat with. I used to be an architect, and was on a team that won an award for a building. The team was supposed to fly to another city, go to the reception, stay overnight and fly back the next morning, and come to work in the afternoon, all on the company dime. First time I had been able to do something like that. The project I had moved on to when this was going on was a dumpster fire, because the manager didn't have the spine to stand up to the constant changes of the client. He told the whole team that we needed to work all weekend on the latest changes to still meet our original deadline on Monday, changes to 12 multi-story buildings, and said I couldn't afford to miss any time. So I had to tell the other team I couldn't go on the awards trip. After the team left for the airport, I found out from a third party that the client had given us an extra 4 days on the deadline because of the last minute changes, and the manager kept that from the team on purpose, so we'd work for free on the weekend. Had a project a former manager wanted me to work on. Right after I started it, another guy said he wanted to help with the documentation. No problem. When the project was finished, he turned the whole thing into management and took my name off it. Ended up getting promoted for the great job he did when actually he didn't do shit. What a piece of human garbage. Why didn't you go tell your manager what the preg did? I would have been livid, and I would have doggedly pursued justice to my last breath. Yeah, that's the kind of crap that I would threaten to quit over. Because the guy is a tool, and he had management's attention. Wouldn't have done me any good. I should mention that management was replaced not quite a year later, and then they poached him for the new place they ended up, which I'm told none of them are there anymore either. My now ex-in-laws promised to pay for and pick up our modest wedding rehearsal dinner catering, and then an hour before they were supposed to do it, pretended they both forgot their wallets and loaned their car to someone. The rehearsal was in a place 4 hours from their home, and they were staying in a hotel for 3 days, so obviously they had to have brought some form of payment. Also they went out to eat and went shopping in their downtime, so again, this is clearly a really fucking stupid lie. They didn't really have friends in the area, so I'm not sure who they pretended to loan their car to, or why, and it was so ridiculous I didn't even waste my time pretending to ask. This was super typical behavior of them though, so we'd actually arranged our plan B for this before we asked the in-laws if they could do it. It's just such a fucking dumb lie. These people were in their 50s. This is similar to my mother-in-law. She'll offer to pay for something, but then shortchange you. It'll be something like, if we order lunch she'll offer to order the most expensive shit and lots of it. Then after we order she'll hand me $5 and say something like that should cover it. When you tell her it's going to be more than that, she will then not have enough money and for some unexplained reason couldn't just pay with one of the cards in her wallet. It's to the point where I don't even bother accepting her offer. I just say I'm getting it. When she offers to pay next time, smile sweetly and say, "Oh, no, we don't want to put you out. We'll just get separate checks." Make sure to tell your server, before ordering even water, that the checks are separate. My brother's new high school baseball coach that came in his senior year wanted to build up his freshman roster, make a name for himself, and pretty much bench 90% of the seniors. None of them got to play in front of the college scouts that season, and the final game of the year my brother got to get on the field, outfield, not his position, one time. Now my brother loved baseball, he was a pitcher, and would get there early just to rake the dirt, and make the place look perfect, pick up trash that had blown in, etc. So as a parting gift the coach gave him a thanks for being a good groundskeeper plaque. Very rarely have I seen a person cry from hatred, but this was one of those times, and he threw that trophy in the baseball dumpster as we walked out. Brother wrote off baseball from that day forward. Rumored photoshopped bills to be more expensive and put them back in the mail so she could collect more money from us to keep for herself. Went on for months before we figured it out. All while lecturing us about how we were very wasteful people for leaving lights on and turning the heating up too much. She'd lose her shit about how we were all so much more privileged than her anytime a hallway light was on or the thermostat went over 67 in the winter. All while skimming a lot off the top of those bills. What a terrible human. Birthday dick bag legacy. My friend was talking excitedly about her upcoming birthday. What she'd do, how many people would be there, the type of cake, etc. I was getting hyped up over it and asked if it would be at her place or somewhere else. She quickly responded, "Oh, you're not invited. Thanks." Another birthday dick move too. Electric Boogaloo. My mom got me a $15 Cold Stone ice cream gift card for my 16th birthday. I reminded her that I was extremely lactose intolerant. She angrily told me that I should be thankful and suggested that I go out with some friends and use it to buy them ice cream and just watch them eat it. Birthday dick move 3. I made my friend a drawing of Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles since she was super into the franchise. I spent hours over it. When I gave it to her, she scoffed and complained that it didn't have her favorite character, Amy, and angrily tossed it aside. I almost cried. And finally, this was a total dick move to my brother. It was his 16th, and we were having dinner. My mom was extremely happy about something, so he asked if she and my dad had a present for him. She said yes, in the garage. "You got me a car?" she said to go and see. He ran from the table in a frenzy. I was stunned that my parents would give him a car. Well, some things are too good to be true. They didn't get him a car. They got him car cleaning supplies. For a car he didn't have. I just excused myself from dinner and went up to my room to cry because I felt that bad for him.